Track Wrestling with Mike Clayton of USA Wrestling. You are in coaches education and we're at a camp that you're hosting right now. Take us through the philosophy. How do we get kids to stay involved? How do we get them to be lifelong wrestling fans?
We want to keep the most kids in the best environment as long as possible. We talk about coaching as an evolution. Our ancestors made decisions, whether it was, we escaped the saber-toothed tiger and we were able to live because we hid in a cave or whatever it was back in the day. But our ancestors evolved and learned so that we didn't become extinct, Kyle, your family, my family, like what we've done, what they've done, they basically had brought us here. So what we want is we want to make sure that wrestling doesn't go extinct. So we want our people to learn, we want them to improve, and we want them to evolve. So we've got to think of things. We have a great organization called Safe Sport that's helping us protect our kids. There's ways that we can learn to coach in very systematic methods that helps explain our processes and allow kids to learn in the best environment. My job, I think of myself as like a telephone. I take the greatest information out there and I just transition that information to those out there who want it. So we appreciate everybody who jumps on the USA Wrestling sites, take advantage of our free educational programs. Our members get to take advantage of our paid educational programs, again, to create the best environment for the most kids as long as possible.
Tell us about EDIP.
EDIP. Pick this up from our great partners with the U.S. Marine Corps. We educate, we demonstrate, they imitate, and then we practice. So the first thing I'm going to do as a coach, I need to know what I'm going to teach, so I educate everybody. We're going to do this technique. It's going to involve grabbing here and here. This is how we're going to finish, and this is what you're going to feel as my demonstration partner. So we've educated people as to what's going to happen. Then we demonstrate it. We can actually perform the technique on our partner. Then we have everyone imitate it so that we know they have the right position at the right time, and then they go practice once we know that everything is set, so that we don't have to provide remedial training and kind of waste all the time we've invested in these kids.
How do we get the average wrestler to stay with it for a long time?
We got to make it fun. And that doesn't mean that we don't make it structured. It doesn't mean that we don't have discipline. We can still have all these things, but we've got to ask kids what they want. The Aspen Institute is another great partner we have. They talk first and foremost in their 8 plays for youth sports development. It's got to be fun. Ask the kids what they want. Do you guys want to go to camp? And if the answer is no, then we have to communicate it in a way so that kids know why it's important, and we have to try to win them over. We have to try to communicate in a better way, and it's got to be a positive environment as long as we can for these kids.
What's your take on the folk style freestyle debate? That you gain different skills in both styles. Would we lose something if we lost folk style?
It's a great debate. Personally, if I'm selfish, from an international sport organization like USA Wrestling is, freestyle and Greco-Roman are Olympic styles. They're tremendous. They develop. It's great. Our country has folk style. We're going to embrace it. We're going to make sure we're doing it the right way. We don't really talk. When kids would come to our camps, our developmental camps in March and July, a lot of them say, hey, am I going to be able to do folk style? Well, an underhook in Greco is an underhook in freestyle. It's an underhook in folk style. Most of the time, wrestling is wrestling. The beauty of it is we want kids to not specialize in one sport. So if I'm folk style in the high school season, if I'm freestyle and Greco in the off seasons, I consider those 2 different sport levels, and now we can take kids and give them different skills. The skills you learn in Greco are going to be different than the freestyle skills. They're going to be different than the folk style skills. So I think of it as 3 different sports with a common bond. So I think it's really good for our kids to experience all of those. And I'll be honest, with the education that I've learned from our Greco staff and being with USA Wrestling, if I was a young person out there today, I would absolutely be doing Greco-Roman to learn those fundamentals. You have 3 lines of defense instead of 5, so it's a great progression into freestyle. Get your kids doing Greco, get them doing freestyle. It's going to help them in the folk style season so that they can have more success for you when they get to that high school room and get them on into that college environment.
Fun. You just said that you have to keep wrestling fun. How do you do that in such a hard sport?
Challenges and games, right? What kid doesn't like a game? What coach doesn't like the kids having great energy? I just challenged the kid at the water fountain. I told him it's my water fountain. We got to go 1 takedown before you're allowed to get a drink from that water fountain. Just playing with him. He knew it was fun, but he said, let's go. Let's have that takedown. And we wrestled for about 5 minutes. Every time I'd get on a shot, you teach him how to get away. And then you get in on another shot, and you teach him another counter. And you let him in on a shot, and you teach him how to finish, and maybe you don't quite give it up, but you create that environment of challenge, balance of fun. there are going to be times you're going to have to sprint, you're going to have to do push-ups, you're going to have to do pull-ups, you're going to have to cut a couple of pounds. Gable says it best, we don't weight cut anymore, we manage nutrition, right? Increase my calorie burn, decrease a few of the calories, stay hydrated, stay fueled. We got to be, healthy, good, solid people out there to compete in this sport. Make it fun, make it exciting. Don't tell a kid to just cut 10 pounds or 5 pounds. Tell them how to do it the right way. Educate them, demonstrate it to them, let them imitate it, and then let them practice it. If they fall a little bit short, that's okay. We all have to deal with adversity. We have to deal with struggle, and we have to overcome. That's what makes this the greatest sport on earth.
Thanks, Mike. How can we not end on that great way?
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you guys.